Welcome to another episode of Dos Leos, Tales from the RGV. My name is Leopoldo Ramirez, and as always, this is my brother Gonel. I remember growing up, my dad had a close friend that was a dentist. Yet even then, my dad would still cross to go to Mexico to Progreso to get his dental care, which I didn't really understand as a young child. I think fillings would cost like $25. A cleaning was like 20. Afterwards, he would drink margarita or beer with a straw. The straw was important because he had just had a dental procedure. I remember telling him, I think that the straw is making it worse. And we would spend the afternoon in Progreso, walking around, taking in the sights. And I have fond memories of doing this and having dental work over there.
Yeah, so I remember that, and we had fun. It was like an afternoon of that. So the first time I went to a dentist, I was 23 years old. I was working as an engineer in Waller, Texas, just outside of Houston. And the reason why I went was because one of my molars, it caved in. And I was in so much pain. So it was the first time that I feel like I had like dental insurance. So I went to the dentist, tried to find a place near where I worked in Waller, Texas. So I'm sitting in the dental chair. When the dentist walks in, he turns to the dental assistant and he asks her two questions. Does he speak English and does he have insurance? I was like super offended by those two questions because, here I am thinking I'm a big shot, big city engineer. And regardless, I've since found an amazing dentist. My family loves going to the dentist. I love going. His practice is very welcoming, professional. I've never had a bad experience there. So today I want to introduce our very special guest. Please welcome Dr. Joe Zacharias. So,
Hi, guys.
So what was it like growing up in the RGV?
Well, believe it or not, I actually didn't grow up fully in the RGV until I was about, I would say 11 years old. A little bit about my background was that I was born in Reynosa. I was born in Mexico. And then my parents moved to the United States to become migrant workers. And so I think we did live in San Juan for a little while before they migrated to Maryland. So I spent most of my childhood in Maryland while they were working in the fields.
Mm-hmm.
And so that I spent my early years out there, and then came back to live in the Valley when about sixth grade or so. And we came down to PSJ.
So growing up, Joe, what kind of languages were spoken at home?
Yeah, primarily Spanish. My parents, I remember when we were young, my father would try to order for us, and we all thought he was a gringo because we would go to McDonald's and Burger King. Back then, that was a big deal to go to McDonald's and Burger King for us. And he would confidently go up to and order. He would say, "Can I have some fries French?" And at the time we were little, we didn't know, but man, we thought, "Oh, our dad's cool. He knows English." But yeah, it's primarily Spanish at home, and then as time went on, we learned more English.
So growing up, how did you identify ethnically, and did that change as you matured and went to college, or maybe when you moved to Maryland, or how did you consider yourself?
That is a wonderful question. Like I guess living in Mexico, it was never a question, right? It wasn't until I moved to Maryland where I was considered to be the Latino amongst all the my Anglo friends, and all of a sudden I am supposed to be the best at soccer. Soccer.
Stereotypes.
Yeah. So I've experienced a lot of that in my life when I'm not living in the Rio Grande Valley, and that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy living in the Valley, because it's not an issue. It's you feel comfortable, you're yourself, and believe it or not, not only people didn't think I was Latino, they thought I was Indian or Pakistan because of my eyes. And so I experienced a lot of that when I was in dental school and living in Milwaukee.
Wow.
So, but so yeah, Spanish, wonderful. I enjoy my culture. I love it, and I'm proud of it. And I think my roots, really has shaped me to the person who I am today.
Awesome. So what was it like going to college? Well, tell us a little bit about your college experience.
Oh, in undergrad, I went here to UTPA.
Mhm.
For me, undergrad was all business, no play. I was just very focused
Mhm.
individual because I knew that I wanted to be a dentist since high
Right.
school. I had a very crooked smile and I had a low self-esteem, and so I was a very shy person until I got braces from Mexico, and my whole personality changed, my disposition changed, and I felt like I want to do the same thing for other people. I want to. It helped my life, and I felt like that was my calling because I really enjoyed working with my hands, and what that dentist did to me was life changing. So I will once I got into undergrad, I was just like an arrow focus as to
Mhm.
what I didn't know how hard it was gonna be. I had no idea how all the effort and sacrifice it was going to take, but I knew that was what I wanted to be when I grew up. So here in the valley, like I said, when I was going to UT at the time, it was just pure focus. And when I got into dental school, that was an eye-opening experience because now all of a sudden the school I went to was Marquette School of Dentistry.
Mhm.
It was a private university, and my classmates were from Yale, Notre Dame, and
Wow.
Princeton. So there was a lot of Ivy League scooters, and everybody, when I said I came from UTPA, people thought I was like, oh, UT is like, no, 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 no. You don't understand. So I was very blessed to be there but it was a very eye-opening experience because I was able to see the differences in the cultures
Mhm.
and the different drives and the just how the opportunities were different for everybody,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yet we're on the same page and we all really helped each other succeed.
So what city or what state was that in?
That was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big change from the valley.
Yeah. Yeah, yes it
Most
was.
of the people we talk to that are here from the valley, they talk about how they don't even notice that they were different. They don't even tend to think about their ethnicity or am I Latino, am I Mexicano, am I Tejano, am I Texican, what am I? They don't really think about it till they finally go to college because in the valley, everybody's just kind of themselves, and then later on they go to college and then we start to feel like, oh, I'm considered other. I didn't realize I was an other.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and it was different. Me and my brother both went to UT in Austin, and you're exposed to so many different cultures,
Yeah.
and that's something very different and unique, and then even though people think the valley is very uniformed, I try to explain to people, well, it is, but it isn't, because we have people, recent immigrants straight from Mexico. We have third generation Texans that are Latinos, but they're been here, for three generations. And then we have this Tex-Mex kind of a mix, which I find very interesting, compared to other places.
Yeah, when I was born and raised in RGV. I didn't move out till I was 18, and I moved to Austin to go to school. And that was when it really hit me. Like, I'm a minority. I'm a minority, and not
Yeah.
only that, I'm short. I didn't know. I thought I was like tall. I'm short, and so it was a culture shock. It was tough, but it was a good experience, and really leaving really helped me appreciate this area more. You know.
No, you're absolutely right. I like you guys hit it right on the nail. Most people here in the valley, we don't realize that you don't have to worry about those stereotypes. You don't have to worry about like, oh, do they think I'm like this or that? Not at all. You're very comfortable in your own skin here, and there's none of this racism. It's like, who are you? What are you? That type of thing that doesn't exist down here, and that is absolutely right. Yeah, I've had in dental school. I've had a lot of several experiences where I felt that they're looking down on me for being Hispanic, and it was challenging, but nonetheless, you forget those things when you come back to the valley, because
Yeah.
that thing doesn't exist down here.
Yeah. So
How has the culture of the Rio Grande Valley helped shape your dental practice? Has it changed the way you run your business?
Um, I had a vision for my office from when I first started. Uh, my biggest thing, I wanted to give the highest quality dentistry as possible, with the most transparent
Mm.
uh, place, or features that high quality, low volume, attention to detail and attention to the person themselves, which is not something that most dentists do. Most dentists just want to get that high volume, get busy, start
Oh,
drilling, filling,
make
and
the
things like
money.
that. Exactly. And I went against the grain for everything, just because I wanted my dentist, I wanted to be happy with what I did, and I wanted to last a lifetime. I didn't want to get burnt out. And it's really easy to work so hard, work, and then you forget about life. I've been blessed since day one. I've been working about 4 days a week,
Wow.
average, and the weekends off. And so, um, it's different, and I'm out of network, and we still do fine. We still do great, and I can't complain. I can't complain, because I think over time people see the value in that. A lot of people say, you mentioned a lot of people go to Mexico, and even we did, but a lot of times they end up coming back, right, to get it fixed. So that in essence, people always ask me, is Mexico competition? I said, no, not at all. And there's different dentistry for different populations, and if they want to go over there, by all means, get it done, and I'm available for whoever needs me in my kind of quality of care that I try to achieve with our patients.
yeah, and I've noticed that when I've gone, I've never waited more than 5 minutes. Like I come in, basically I don't 5 minutes most in. I'm in and out. I mean, you're not wasting your patient's time. You have it scheduled so perfect. And then there's TVs on top of each chair has a nice TV, and it's pretty cool. It's a good experience.
Well, we're blessed with wonderful patients like you, who just, I enjoy seeing you and your family, and getting to know them over the years, and watching those kids grow up. It's just, it makes us happy, and that continuity of care is about, it's all about relationships. That's how I see my business. Is not about patients, about I want to have a relationship with that patient, and making sure that I continue that care for the rest of their lives and their families' lives.
Of course, yeah.
Do you feel like that culturally? I feel like we have a lot of like familia, like familial relationships, with our culture, and how we try to, have close knit. Do you feel like that carries over to your business? Like, or did you grow up like with close family? Like a lot of relatives, a lot of cousins, or
Yeah, I definitely have a big side of family on my mom's side.
Mhm.
But yeah, the valley is very family oriented, and I do see that in my practice, because I see the cousins, the uncles, the whole family of different families that have come to my office. Everybody comes, and so it's nice. And I even get invited to the weddings or quinceañeras, and so I feel like, oh, that's so nice of them to think of me as part of their family. Um, and no, it's a beautiful thing too, that the valley has a very nice cultural, familial
Mhm.
emphasis.
Yeah. So got a technical question for you. After you get a filling, to go back to my dad, should you use a straw or not a straw right after a filling, or does it matter?
So I feel like, I don't think it matters. I feel that for maybe the reason for the straws, because he might have had a tooth taken out.
Mm.
So there's uh, I don't know, some evidence from hypothesis that if you drink through a straw, that you can
Suck it out.
suck out the blood clot, and then
Yeah.
it can cause a dry socket type of thing. So, um, yeah, it's we just go along with it and just tell everybody.
Okay. So for those out there that are wondering, say you want to be, you're a high school freshman in high school, you want to become a dentist. What's the path? How do you do that?
Wonderful question. So I had those exact same thoughts when I set my mind to being a dentist. Um, First things first, find yourself a dentist. Knock on doors. Go to the dental office or maybe your own personal dentist and ask them if you can shadow them. When I did it, I promise you, I had so many dentists tell me, no, like, get out of here, kid. You know, we don't want you here. Except for the last dentist on the road on Sam Houston, he said, yes, come on in on Monday. And then he became my mentor for the rest of my career. And even now.
Wow.
And so keep knocking the doors until you find a dentist. First, find out if it's something you really want to do. Talk to them about
Your
about
date.
their daily. Find out like you know how much school it is, how much stress, how much sacrifice,
Mhm.
and then look at the outcome. You know, how is their life? How do they live their life? How do they have their family structure? How is Find out if that's the life you want to live. Like get ahead of it. You know, once and you shadow a dentist, and find out like, hey, this is a dentist that I want to, you know, I want to do that for the rest of my life because it's a lifetime commitment, right? So once you have that answer, then I would suggest to, you know, go to college and then start asking for the pre-dental advisor, and they will guide you through the roads as to what classes to take, when to take certain exams, entrance exams, and you know, it's not an easy road. I promise you, it's not easy, but it's doable. If I can do it, anybody can do it. You just have to have that passion in you, and you have to know that that's exactly what you want to do, and the doors will open for you with a lot of prayer, of course.
Yeah, you know, as an adult now, I've kind of reflected back on my life and like in my career choices and my jobs and stuff. And I thought, well, now that I have kids, you know, what advice am I going to give them when they get a little bit older? And that's kind of what I'm going to do. Those are the questions I've been asking them. How much money do you want to make? How many hours a week do you want to work? What city do you want to live in? And then what do you want to do? And then kind of, you got to think about everything as a whole. Because I think like a lot of the advice that I got growing up was like, just like, well, just go to college and whatever, you'll be fine. But you got to really think about, you know, do I want to work inside? Do I want to work outside? Do I want to work nights? How much should I make? Where do I want to live? Because not all jobs are offered in every single city, right? But so those are good questions to kind of consider.
Yeah, I know. I like the idea of shadowing somebody. You know, to be honest, uh, that gives them a good idea of what it's like day to day. You know, and what your job is. Now, Joe, I'm sure as a dentist, you work a lot with your hands. You gotta have some kind of hobbies. You gotta make stuff. What do you like to do?
Well, I've got two hobbies. You know, my main thing right now is to spend time with the family. So I really, really enjoy that. There's that makes me so happy. Like I found true joy when I come home and my little boys are running at me and daddy, daddy, and gives you a big hug, you know. So that's priceless to me. So now that takes most of my hobby time. But when I have my me time, I like to work on classic cars. Uh,
Nice.
yeah, it's for me, it's the same thing as working with my hands,
Hmm.
and it's a hobby that was passed down from my father. Him and I would do things together. So I want to keep my skills sharp so that I can teach my boys a little bit about what it takes to put hard work into something and you can have an outcome, and obviously work hard to buy parts
Yeah.
so that
Right now,
so you can you put it for your car.
what kind of car are you working on right now? Or car?
Uh, right now, I have a 1967 Datsun Roadster.
Oh, nice.
Uh, so that's a little roadster that was my first car that my father and I worked
Wow.
on together, and I sold it when I was a teenager. But now during COVID time, I decided to find it and buy it. So I've been restoring it since.
What's the oldest car you own? I know you have an older car. It was your dad's, right?
Yeah, that was my father's dream car. Was a 29 Model A Roadster,
1929.
1929. And so luckily, I was fortunate enough that we were driving by 20 South 23rd Street, and my father saw it, and we went to go look for it, and I was fortunate enough to buy it for him. So it was
Oh,
a very fun experience that to make him happy, to fulfill that passion, that dream of his. Unfortunately, like 2 or 3 years later, he passed away, but
oh,
so he
man.
left it to me, and I finished restoring it for the both of us. So finally, we finally we're it's taken some time, but it's finally running really nice.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. It's a pleasure. What you're doing for the community is just incredible. We thank you.
No, my pleasure, and thank you guys. Thank you. This is, like I said, you guys are onto something here, and I love it because you're right. The valley is such a beautiful culture that that a lot of us take it for granted. We didn't even know that's going on, but
Yeah.
you're right. It's very different from the world, very different from even the United States. We're on our own little wonderful culture, community that's just. I honestly think it's the best place to live. It's just
Yeah.
the Hispanic culture is so kind to each other, and I find nothing but love through in everything that I do here.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
All right.
My pleasure,
Thanks.
guys.
Thanks.
Good day, man.
You too.
For our last episode, and I felt like that was very interesting talking to Joe. I liked some of the ideas he had about how he felt about the valley and the family, and just what drove him to become a dentist. It's very interesting to see how he became that dentist that he always wanted to be. And he had that idea as a child. I really enjoyed this episode. I hope we get to do a couple more in the same vein.
Yeah. So this is not our last episode. We're going to continue doing them. But I think what Dr. Joe Zacharias is doing is just amazing. When I moved back to the valley from Houston, I didn't really have a dentist, and I kind of went to a few different ones, and I feel like I was overcharged a few times. And then I just happened to meet him through a mutual friend, and I found out he was a dentist. So I was like, well, I'll try this guy. And it was really one of the best decisions I've made for my dental care. But that's about it for today. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll be seeing you guys soon.